Welcome to another episode of Getting Naked with Nasty, uncovering the beats with Nasty on the Beats. I am Nasty on the Beats, www.nastyonthebeats.com. And I'm excited. You can say it with me. I'm excited about this beat. Uh, because with the, being able to document, by the way, I've only been back in this for less than 2 years. Okay, it'll be 2 years in September. So there's not much to document on in retrospect. Uh, but I remember making this beat as a part of a challenge. I had talked to my dad, and this is months after I talked to my dad, but I talked to my dad and I said, give me 7 songs, like your favorite songs or whatever. It can even be from different eras, and I'm gonna try to sample them. And I got into all kinds of other things. I was traveling, working on other projects, so it took me forever. I had made one, but didn't get to the rest of them. But this particular day, this was back in like November 2024, so November of last year. I was in Atlanta, Georgia, the metro area, and I went to a coffee shop / restaurant, and I said, let me go ahead and start working on those beats or whatever. And this is one of the beats that came out of it. The name of this beat was from a series called She Begs. I won't give you the details of why the series is called She Begs, but from a series called She Begs, and the name of the beat is Night Children, Night, Night Children. And it is committed to a project. More than likely, it's going to be on the second installment, Acts 2 of the Inconspicuous Intentional Acts of the Truth Man. At least that's what it's leaning towards. I've already started writing to it and so forth. But you never know. If you hit me, you like the beat, we talk price, we can do something. So I was in Duluth, Georgia, and came up with this beat. And it was really funny. I remember taking a long nap right there at the table. I was just out of it, you know what I mean? When I woke up, I started working on these beats. This is what came out. So we're going to get into the sample. The sample comes from Stylistics, because one of my dad's favorite groups, Stylistics, Children of the Night, if I'm correct. And so hence the name Night Children of the Beat. So let's go ahead and let's take a peek. All right, so that's what it is. It's for, like I said, I love replaying the song that I sampled because I could hear what I pulled. So you know how we do it. We're gonna go ahead and get into each of the samples. Let's go to track mute and mute them all, and we're gonna start with one. Before we get into that, I do want to say this. I give y'all all kinds of history about who I am and so forth to your benefit. But my dad is highly, highly, highly influential in my music career. Even in a very hands-off, because he doesn't necessarily, as far as my beats and rhymes and so forth, he's not like that plugged in. Every now and then he listens and we'll talk about it. But for the most part, just him coming up in, 50s, late 50s, 60s, 70s in Chicago, my grandfather, his father being in a singing group, my dad's musical taste, and my mom as well. The combination of the two is why I have the ear that I have, the type of music I gravitate towards. It's crazy because now I'm 45 now, so I got plenty of years to research and get into other music. But I shock my dad now, you know what I mean? To where, even some of his groups, he go, I don't know that song, you know what I mean? But that's just because you get turned on to a certain group and you go and search their catalog, and maybe you bypass some of the songs that they may have. I mean, that you get into some of the songs they may have bypassed, you know what I mean, on certain albums or whatever. So my dad is heavily, heavily influential in my music career. Shout out to Ricky Jones and Linda Jones as well. Both my parents are very musically plugged in, you know what I mean, especially coming out of the 60s and 70s era in Chicago particularly. So Stylistics is one of his groups, you know what I mean, and that he turned me on to. So here we go. We're going to start, we start with the kick. Snare. I like that snare. Very, very basic, but to the point. Hi-hat. We got a shake there. All right. What's on the 5? We don't have anything on the 4. What's on the 5? My bass line. I gotta say this since I did that. People know what I do for a living. Like, I'm a graphics designer and a furniture assembly installation guy. And I've been both for about 15 years. Right at close to it. And I always said hate to say in my next life, because that's necessary, but I was somewhat destined to be a truck driving bass player. If you see how much I travel, I'm a nomad right now, and how much I love the bass guitar. Whether I've tried to play it a little bit, you know what I mean? But I'm in love with the bass guitar. You know what I mean? So, put that shit on 6! On the 8, on the 8, okay, just a little bit. Okay, with a little echo on it. Now I'm gonna do something. We're gonna go over to B. Let's turn these back on. We're going to go over to B. And take these out because there's two other tracks. Okay. A little surprise for you on the 11. Yeah. All right. Let's add some context to it. We're going to go back to the A. You won't hear the B until I play the full thing out. Let's just go drums. Told you I'm a boom bap guy, baby. Bass line. You better do that shit free. Getting a little too into it. Let's do just the samples. Let's get into it. Let me make sure. Yeah, see, my samples were off on B. I'd have fucked up again. All right. Now, this is going to play a little bit longer because there's some transitions in there I want you to hear. So let's get it going. She Begs, Night Children, produced by Nasty on the beats. Menu, song. Ain't that shit dope? It has a movie feel to it. You know what I mean? Like a real intense scene in a movie. Moving some stuff around, bagging up some drugs or something. I'm just saying, you know, it just has that feel. You know what I mean? Moving through. I'm really into videography too. You know what I mean? So I'm an imagery guy. So, but that's what it is, folks. She Begs, Night Children, produced by Nasty on the Beats. This has been another episode of Getting Naked with Nasty, uncovering the beats with Nasty on the Beats. I am Nasty on the Beats. www.nastyonthebeats.com. Holla!